again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. I thought let's do some origami. Yes, and today we're going to be making a star box or a petal box, or as I like to think of it, a candy dish. Yeah, you can put all sorts of goodies in these boxes. They're really easy and quick to make, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, for this particular piece, I used origami paper so that you can have the petals being one color and the base being white, or vice versa. Now, for that, yes, you would need origami paper, which is colored on one side and white on the other side. However, there's nothing saying that you can't use regular paper. That's totally all right. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first things first, you have to decide if you want the base to be colored or if you want the petals to be colored. If you want the petals to be colored, start with the colored side facing up. If you want the base to be colored, start with the colored side down. Okay, so we're going to start by folding our piece of paper in half. Now this is, by the way, this is just a square, okay? Measurements are really quite simple. Just make sure it's a square. All right, so start by folding it in half. And then open it up, and then turn your work, fold it in half again, open it up, and we need some more creases, actually. So flip it over, and instead of going this way and this way, we're going to turn it, and we're going to make triangles. So fold it in half, again. Now, my corners aren't perfect, but you know what? That's okay. And then open it up, turn it, fold it one more time. Now this is the preliminary folds for the base that we need. Okay. So now we have valley folds and mountain folds. If it creates a ridge, that's a mountain. If it creates a valley, well, that's a valley fold. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to actually create the base. So basically you pinch and push, and basically we are creating a smaller square out of these four quadrants. And there you go. That is the base for our piece. And this is actually the base for a lot of origami pieces. So from here, let us proceed. Okay, so from here, we're going to be utilizing this crease down the center as a guide. And if you notice, you have a back and a front, a back and a front. We're just going to be working with the front flaps. So with the first front flap, we're going to have this right edge going along the center here. So using that crease as a guide, and try to make your creases better than I just did. That's better, sort of. Okay, then the other side, just the front flap. And yes, that could be a little bit neater, but I'm not entirely judging. Are you? No, of course you're not. There we go. So then we do the exact same thing on the other side. Sort of like making a kite or an ice cream cone. There we go. Then the other side. Okie doke. So we have our flaps on the front and on the back. Now we need to open these up and flatten them. We're sort of smooshing them. So for this, you're taking one of your flaps. Now you could either do this against your surface or open it up and freehand it. Basically, you're taking this flap, you're opening it up, and you're sticking your thumb or whatever finger you prefer in there and opening that up. And we're just going to flatten this down so that this crease lines up with this line here. And flatten that down. And then do the same thing with the other three. You open up your flap. And squoosh it down. Again, so that the crease lines up with this line here. Then you turn over your work and you do the same thing with these two. And smoosh. One more. Open it up. And smoosh. Okay, and we are almost done. Now, what I like to do from here actually is, so we have the two fronts and the two backs. What I like to do is I like to bring the two fronts together, like so. And then the two backs together, like so. Now, along these creases here, fold the other half. Again, we're just working with the fronts. Fold this one to the front. And then fold this one to the front. Along those creases that we already made. And again, is this perfect? No. I realize that. Okay, so then turn your work over, and again, along these creases, fold to the center again. And there you go. All right, so we are almost there. We are in the home stretch. All righty. Okay, so from here, I always find that it's helpful to have another preliminary crease going from this point to this point. Just fold this down and crease. Open it up, turn it over, and do the crease again. Open it up. Okay, now we have our four flaps. We've got one in the front, one in the back, and then two sort of in the middle. We're going to do this one step at a time. So take just this front flap and then just bend it down from this point to this point. Just flop it on down and make sure that it is in line with the crease that you have down here. Turn your work over, do the same thing. Flop down the flap. And then we're going to open and open. There we go. And then flop these flaps down. Turn work over, flop the flap down, and believe it or not, we're done. Yes. Now it's just a matter of opening up the box, which is actually not that difficult. So, grabbing 2 of our points, open up our work here, and I find that actually what's best is if you insert your fingers into the box and then work out along the creases the base. There you go. And then, of course, you can fix it up a little bit. And then you can give your little flaps a final pinch, final crease. And if you want to get really snazzy and decorative, you can curl the tips of your points. You could use a pencil, or you could just sort of wing it like I'm doing at the moment. Just give them a little bit of a curl so it looks more like a flower. And then it is ready for filling, whether it's some sweet treats, some baubles, what have you. All right, so listen guys, that concludes the star box tutorial. Now, I have not done much in the way of origami tutorials. In fact, I haven't done much in the way of origami in general in quite some time. But if this tickles your fancy, don't hesitate and give a little thumbs up button down below. I always appreciate appreciation. And if you want to see more, whether it's something like this, or perhaps some cranes, or some balloons, or what have you, yes, there is inflatable origami, believe it or not. Or fortune tellers, or there's even a camera toy. There's all sorts of things. Let me know in the comments section, and we'll go from there. So you know what to do. Until next time, I want all of you to stay inspired, stay folding, and stay caffeinated, and stay groovy. So yeah, this is a different outro for me. So until next time, I want all of you to stay safe and take care of each other. And I'll see you in the next one. All right. Bye for now, everybody. Have a good day.